For another Mink Life Motivation Live. And today our question is your business slowing down? Do you need more business? If so, why don't you come join us on the couch? Hey, we're back, and I'm joined with my special co-host here on the couch in the live show here. We have Denise and Baylil. She's a Serenity expert, and she is also one of the members of the MinkLife community. You've seen her on the shows many of times. Welcome to join us here.
Thank you.
And we have Tiffany Zehara, and a human Asian, right? How do you say that? Entrepreneur. So tongue-tied this morning. So, or at least it's morning for me. So depending on what time it is where you are, I hope you enjoy it. We want you to be part of this conversation, be that co-host on our couch. Send those questions in, those comments. This is very interactive. And we're just here to have fun and get some knowledge out there for you guys. So who's ready?
Yay! I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All righty. So let's start off with and learn why is client relations important to professionals to strive in life and business. So Denise, you want to start us off? And so why is it really important to build those client relations?
Well, I think it's really important to build client relation because if you want more clients, you have to have a great communication and connection with the clients that you have now, so that a lot of business, the way they have new clients is through reference from other people. They say, hey, you got to work with Denise. She's awesome. You got to come and check out Denise. She helped me a lot. Or I know a friend that used Denise. And so why is that important? Because it is the core of your business. When you have very good relationship with the people you work with, and when you go networking and talk to other people, it's how you get to be known. And being known is the number one of being known, like, and trust. So let's start with being known by the people around you so that you can meet them, you can now being liked, and then they can trust you because you're consistent in your message, you're consistent in how you talk to people, how you help people. And that's the way it's very important for your business to really build those relations.
Perfect. And Tiffany, how about you? Why is it? Why are we so passionate in building client? Why are you passionate about helping people with client relations in your zone of genius?
So I really think that it's important to know who you are and know why you're doing what you're doing in the world. And so really being able to help others, imparting your knowledge is just a gift to the world, because you were put on this earth for a reason, and you were given these talents, whatever it is, whether you're an artist, whether you are a coach, whether you're a teacher, a doctor, or a healer, whatever it is, you were given these passions for a reason. And so being able to help others with that is just really, it's that cycle of life. It's really that reciprocity.
Well, so I think definitely agree with what you're saying about doing what you love, right? And it's in helping others. Like I'm that's really my passion too, is really being a connector. And Denise was talking about helping and like and trust, and I always throw in there remember, right? And it's a great way to really help your clients, right? So if you're passionate about something, people are going to see that, they're going to resonate with that, and you will draw people to you for that. And I love that I can save people some like time, energy, and money, right? It's like, I've already been there, done it. Let me help you save some steps, right? I love, in the Minkuvator and in the Mink world, right? We're all about helping everyone get to that next level, right? So if I can help you do something that I've already done, you can help me do something that you've done, right? So it's all about really tapping into your zone of genius and then helping others through that, and then they'll help you with theirs. So let's look at our next question, which in next comments of is really about getting motivated. We love getting motivated, and we're going to focus on networking. So why is client relations important to professionals to thrive in their business? And Denise, you kind of expanded a little bit on this earlier. Tiffany, how about yourself? Why do you feel that building client relationships are really important?
I mean, I absolutely agree with Denise. It's about really having people trust you, because it's people aren't buying necessarily whatever widget you have. They're buying into who you are as a person. And just because there are 20 car salesmen that I can choose from, why am I going to choose this person over this person? It's really, you're attracted to their personality and how they do business and their core values and their morals. And so having people really get to understand who you are as a person really helps them in their buying decisions of, why am I going to choose you over choosing you?
Yes, I think definitely, right? It's like, what do you bring to the table that's uniquely you? And I think so many people forget that. Like, and sometimes they're even like, oh, well, why would somebody buy from me? And it's like, well, your journey is different than the person behind you, right? Even if you're both realtors or both mortgage people or both whatevers, right? The way you got there is different than anyone else in the world, right? So in that knowledge and that expertise and those experiences really is what you're bringing and adding to the the formula, right? Is what you're doing. And then the other thing I was, it said something else, and I was gonna do that. So I forgot the thought. I'll come back to it when it goes.
So why is client relation important for professionals
yes.
to thrive in life? And so they want me to answer that question. Is that what they're saying? So here we are, passionate about helping people with customer relation and his owner's genius. Well, I guess we need to answer that question. So I'm blocked. Customer relation. So when you build customer relation, I guess I answered the second question before the first question. So here it is. So when you help people with customer relation, is the more you help your customers. And for me, it's about serenity and being relaxed and releasing the stress. So the more you release the stress in your life, and the more you bring my client, the more I bring my client into helping them out. Like, for example, I have in my coaching program, I have a section that is called I Need Help Now. So I have people that can call me anytime, and if I'm available, I'll pick up the phone. If I sleep, the phone is off, so I won't be disturbed. But I've had my client calling me at 9 o'clock at night and say, I can't do this right now. Like I've drank 3 bottles of wine and I can't live anymore. It's like, oh my goodness, that's serious. So let's have a conversation to deflate this situation. So the customer relation is very important, to be able to relate to my customer, to be able to feel that I'm there for them, that I'm there to support them. And having that one-on-one, that connection that says, whenever you need help, I'll be here for you, makes it the world of a difference for my clients. Because other coaches, sometimes it's programs that are online. If you follow the step online, one video after the others, there's no one to call. There's no one to be able to talk to. So having that customer relation, being able to relate with my customer, being there for them, I think it makes a huge difference into how people can feel better and make milestone step that help them releasing their stress and feel better about themselves.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's where a lot of programs I think are moving towards. I know my program has moved towards that way, right? It's like we can Google anything and find the information. It's really having people there to help you along in the process and to guide you through that process is what is, I think, is really what's happening nowadays, right? It's like anyone can create a course and do an online course, but can you actually take people and get them through your course and actually help them? And I think that's where, if we want to pull both the questions together, is talking about, the passion, having people be passionate about what you're doing and helping people to get those results, right? And we were talking about customer relations. And one of the things that I love to do is be that resource person for someone. So it's all about, who do you know, and how, like, I might not be your client, but I may know someone who knows your clients, right? So it's like, how can I support that person through that journey? Whether that's, maybe I am their client, but if I'm not, like, do I know somebody who would have their clients? So helping them find that power partner, the strategic partner that they can work with. And Monica says, yes, the full journey, right? It's not just now, we're just not wanting to say, oh, here, go do this and you go away and do it, right? I want to be part of the journey with my clients. I want to be there and celebrating with them. So it's part of the journey. Mm-hmm. So now we want to go to our next section, which is stay inspired. So question is, how has a shift in client priorities been a problem for you in the past? And then how did you overcome it? So let's start, Tiffany, let's start with you this time. It's like, how, like, did you have a client one time where, like, they're going and then all of a sudden something changes, and then what happened? How did you manage that situation?
So I appreciate that, because if we're not growing, we're dying. So if you're not evolving and you're not having new priorities and if new things aren't coming in, that stagnation is death. And so I appreciate when there are new priorities and just shifting perspective. So it's not that, oh, you failed at this and we're shifting priorities to this. It's just pivoting. And changing the mindset that, oh, it's failure as in this 4-letter word, that's it. No, it's just pivoting, and looking where you are today from where you were yesterday, or 10 years or 20 years from now. You're growing and you're evolving. And so it's really helping you to be the best person that you want to be, knowing who you are now and where your priorities lie today.
Yeah, I love that of helping someone realize where they were before and stuff, because I know that's an area that I could use, like, help with a lot of times, is because I just go, like, I just keep doing stuff, and I don't always take the time to stop and look at, like, oh, what did you accomplish, right? I'm always looking at, oh, what's left on the to-do list, right? And maybe you're like that too, is like, you have all these things like, oh, I didn't get this done. But if you stop and looking, yeah, but look how far you've come. Right. And look how you've helped people. You've done that. So very much so. And Monica says, yeah, love that. Just pivot. Right. So just pivoting. And I love too what you said, Tiffany, was about not looking at that being a failure. Right. It's like, if we, sometimes we start down a path and then we're like, oh yeah, I thought that's where I wanted to go, but maybe it's not. And then it's like, ooh, it's accepting the fact that, well, you can change and you can turn right or left, it's like, oh, we're down this, but maybe we want to just go off a little bit this way or look at something different.
It's okay. And giving yourself that permission that it's okay. So yes.
Yeah. And it's not like it's learning, like Monica's saying, it's not a failure. It's just all information that you're learning and stuff. And it's like, oh, now I know that, oh yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to do something different, right? So that's great. Denise, have you ever had a client where something you're working with them and all of a sudden you had to pivot?
Yeah. Well, I learned from experience, definitely. When I first started coaching, I was so a stickler into my program. It has to be this way. You got to do the step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then but my clients at some point, and then I was not evaluating where the client was. I was like, we got to go from session 1 to session 8, for example, and that's what we're going to do. And then I realized that at some point in that period of time, my clients were shifting in a different direction and I wasn't listening. And of course, it became a disaster. And what I learned over time is now what I do is over time, I do different evaluation. So let's say after a month, we talk, we evaluate where we're at. We evaluate our goals. What do we want to do for the next month? What do you want to achieve in the next month? And then we work towards that, as opposed to what we said, 4 weeks ago. And that makes a huge difference now that I'm doing that, doing monthly evaluation of where they're at, where they want to go, what have they achieved, and if they had some goals, why didn't they reach it? So we do a little evaluation, and that changed everything, because by doing that, it allows my client to refocus, to re-engage into wanting to make some changes in their life, and that allow the two of us to move forward in the same direction, as opposed to my clients shifting this way because their priority have changed and me wanting to be a stickler and stick to the program. And now it's a lot more fluent. It flows. We reevaluate. We see, okay, what have we done? Where are we going? Okay, let's go in that direction together, as opposed to go apart. And that's why you lose your client a lot of time, when you're not listening to your client's need. And then they say, well, that coach can't help me. So by reevaluating, it allows us both, the clients and myself, to shift in a new direction and to make milestone and build something towards the benefit of the client and the success of the client.
So Denise, I think that's really common for those that are just starting out, because you're not comfortable in your skills yet. You're still trying to figure everything out.
Yeah.
And so just having that framework, having that structure.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we got to do that step now, don't change anything. I don't know what to do if you change it.
Yes. And it's relaxing into everything.
Yeah. More comfortable into my zone of genius now, right?
Exactly.
Like, I know what I'm doing now. I can be diverted. It can be a storm going on. It's like, hey, I'm strong. That's good. No problem,
Yeah, definitely. And you're meeting your client's needs, right?
Yeah,
so it's that's top priority, right? And I love the fact of assessing, like, where are we, right? And doing that. And then also, some of it is like, we've got a clean slate, right? If it's a beginning of a week, a beginning of a month, it's like, okay, it's a clean slate. Let's look at, evaluate where you were yesterday and what you did and how can you improve it. But then let's start fresh and go, okay, if you didn't make those follow-up calls, or you still have the list that you haven't done. It's like, okay, well, let's acknowledge that happened, and then go and say, okay, clean slate. From now, let's do it. So we're gonna look at that and create that assessment, right, that we were looking at. So we've got motivated, we stayed inspired, right? So now we're going to keep networking, my favorite section. So who should you ask to help when you are trying to improve your clients' relations? So Denise, we can start with you this time. So like, who's the person you're going to ask when you're looking to improve those relationships?
Yeah, that's a good question, because too often coaches or any businesses, they think that they have to do it alone, and you don't have to. You can bring, people to assist you. And depending on, because for me, I do coaching and I work with mindset, but often there might be a person wants to make some changes in their life, but then they need some diet help, right? Like they want to change their diet. And I'm not a dietitian. I know what I'm doing for myself, but then I'm not afraid to say, hey, let's have a talk. Let's bring someone in that is a dietitian that can support you. Maybe in one session, they can give you some hint, and maybe they can, talk to you, give you some information on how to move forward in that direction that you want to go for your diet. In the meantime, I'll help you with your mindset to stick to that diet and to be able to not diverge. And so it's important to be able to reach out to other sources, other people that can enhance your business. Not feel that, oh, if I bring a nutritionist here or a dietitian, then she might steal my client, and then the client going to go work with her and not with me. I don't think like that, because if I'm strong, if I know my value, and if I know what I can bring to my clients, I can support my client at the same time as that someone else can support my clients, and that bring a plus, into our relationship, as opposed to try to do it all myself and giving advice that is not necessarily my zone of genius. The more I stick to my zone of genius, the more I'm able to support my client 100% by reaching out to other people also to be able to support my client.
Yeah, it's all about, I feel like, collaboration, right?
Yeah.
How can we collaborate together? How can we work with other people to really give a full service solution to our clients, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that people think of networking as, I'm just trying to get my clients. And that's not what networking is. Networking is relationship building. And so when people are going into networking thinking, okay, I'm looking for my next client, do I want their service or do they want mine or my product or vice versa? But when you're looking at it in terms of relationship and really trying to form an actual connection with that other person,
Yeah.
Colleen, you were talked about this earlier about you don't know who I know. And so I may not be your client, but I have a vast network. And so when you're going into that with that relationship building, you can partner together on different programs so that you're touching, Denise, what you were saying about there's that health and wellness aspect to the mindset and all of these things that you're being brought together. Or if it's just not with my service personality wise or what you're looking for right now, let me refer you over to this connection that I have that's going to be a great fit for you. It's all about networking in terms of relationship building.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else around relationship building that you wanted to add, Tiffany?
No, I think I'm good with it.
Good. So I was like, I didn't even ask her the question. She just got right in there, right? You're just, the conversation is just flowing, right? And that's, I think, which is the greatness, right? Is when you get people together who have, similar geniuses, that you can network with them, and then you're really looking at that overall picture and that solution for someone. And like you said, talking about the, what resources can you bring to the table? Because I'm always looking for other networking groups, right? Because that's a great connection for me, because I always want it to be a win-win-win. And when I'm helping people, do follow-up and really getting understanding, I tell them, right? It's like, don't think of follow-up as I need to get an answer from them. Are they ready to buy from me, right? It's what can I give them to help them with their decision, their information they need. Maybe it's not me right this minute, but maybe it's the next step. Maybe there's somebody, maybe they have to get to a certain point, right? Like Denise was saying about the mindset, right? So working with someone who does work with weight and things like that might be a good fit for her, because when they come, people are like, oh, I need to lose weight, but it's until they need to get their mindset right first. And then that. So, looking at those strategic partners that you can put together. So.
And that's adding to that is exactly what Tiffany was saying, is that when you go to networking event, I'm looking for people that I can collaborate with, as opposed to people that can be my client. Right. Because the percentage of people that could be my client in networking event is possible, but not really big.
Right.
And they say most people don't go to a networking event to buy something.
No,
right?
no,
they go to make connections.
But then if I meet, like let's say my clients is wanted to enhance their, needs to do more follow-up. And then I said, well, let's go to Colleen 2-3 weeks to try out, fall in love with follow-up, and then see if that can support you into doing more follow-up, while I'll support you into why don't you want to do follow-up, and work with your mindset, and work with your, what's blocking you, what saboteurs gets in the way of you not wanting to follow up. And then we'll work with your... I
think I have a new module we need to...
We'll work with your...
We got an extra bonus module coming out, right?
Exactly. Why not? Because
show up on MinkLife Live, and you'll never know. Right?
And because maybe your avoider is stopping you from wanting to call people and follow up with them. It's like, oh, what are you gonna say? Or you're the victim. It's like, oh, they might not think I'm good enough. And so we could all work together in some ways in collaboration without taking away from anyone. We're just adding for our clients. We're not taking away from what we do. We're adding up for our own customers.
Yeah.
It's adding that value. And I don't know about either of you or anybody in the audience right now. I've stopped people in the middle of assessments and said, you're not ready for me. I need to send you to somebody else first. And I've had people say, thank you so much for you really care about me. It's not just getting those clients. Right. It's really making sure that I am getting the best product or services or whatever you offer at this time. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. And what are these people going to do after that? They're going to refer you
come right back
because they're going to come back to you and they're going to say, hey, you got to go see Tiffany because she's so honest. She sent me the place where I needed to be, and then when I was ready, I got back to her, and so they feel get know, like, and trust, and remember, right? They will remember you for that, for not wanting to just get them to hire you so that you can have their money, and you want their well-being.
You're not just a number.
Exactly.
You're seen, you're heard, and you're valued.
Yeah, I love that.
Awesome. We're having so much fun here. Okay. They always make us end, right? So one last question we have for you guys is our gain knowledge. So what is that one tip that you have for boosting your influence by focusing on those client relationships? So Denise, you want to hit us?
Sure. The one tip is I think I just said it prior to this, is don't feel selfish that you have to catch all the fish in the water, and sharing is caring. The more you do interaction with other people, and even in their same line of business, that maybe you are, in theory, you're the perfect coach for that person, but in reality, personality wise and all that, you're not. Don't be afraid to pass it on to somebody else that does exactly what you do, but they have a different personality. They have a different way of dealing with. When somebody says no to me, maybe they were just not aligned energetically, and say, hey, do you want me to refer you to a few other people that do what I do, so that maybe you get along better with them, maybe the energy will be better. So it's all a question. And maybe sometime I will do that without even them saying no to me. It's just like, I don't feel I want to work with you, but maybe that person will handle you better. So that's what one tip is. Don't feel that, work in collaboration with other people. And that's the only way you can grow also, because then these people will want to do different collaboration with you too on the business level. And while we all support each other, there's enough client out there for all of us. We don't have to be greedy.
Perfect. Absolutely.
Awesome. Tiffany, how about you? What is that one tip to help?
I think it's really about remembering that whether it's business or life, we're all on this journey together. We're all going through this human experience together. So to not see everything in black and white in numbers and just trying to, again, back to what you were saying, Denise, about get. It's about give. Obviously knowing your boundaries. And I think, Denise, this is what you do in your work, is knowing your boundaries with this. But at the same time, it's about that reciprocal relationship of this journey of humanity that we're going through together.
Yeah, correct. I think so. And I think I'll just reiterate the fact of being that resource person. I think for people, that's where I do it is, and that's kind of what you guys were saying. Like, be that resource. Like, if you're not a good fit for me, do I know somebody who is that you're a good fit for? So understanding where they are on their journey, and then just really building those relationships, and realize that it doesn't have to be all business. Like I'm very much into, like we were talking earlier, everyone had their pets. I don't have a pet, but everyone had their pets out, and it's like, build that relationship, find out what's going on with your clients beyond, them showing up for whatever business related thing that they want to do. Like I always look at that, because that will, I think, help you understand why they're doing what they're doing. It will help you understand if they do have to have that pivot thing is because it could be something family related, right? And then, and look at that. And then I think just when you have that life and business balance, in some sense that you can have balance between those, and people are doing what they're doing to have a better life. I think when you really understand that whole concept for everyone, then that just, I think, excels the process, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, this has been awesome. We could keep doing this all day, but they're going to make us do announcements. So
They're taking it away. Say, no, just keep talking.
no, I just keep going. Come hang out with me in the co-working section. We can continue the conversation. So we have announcements. Denise, tell me, how can people find you? Want to get in contact with you, build that relationship. What's the best way for them to connect with you?
Absolutely. Like I'm happy to have like a half an hour conversation with you, see how I can support you in all area of your life. And I'm specializing right now with actually empty nesters or soon to be, to work on an exit strategy of being a full-time parent. So often we think of exit strategy for your business. How am I going to get out of this job and move on to something else or retire? But what's your exit strategy of being a full-time parent? How are you going to be of your life? How are you going to rock the second half of your life? Well, book a call with me at tiny.cc/talk with Denise, and I'll be happy to have a call with you and see how I can support you.
That's awesome. I know there's a lot of people out there, especially like this time of year with graduation and everything, people might start be thinking of that kind of stuff. So, Tiffany, how about you? What's the best way people can connect with you? And
Yes, sure. So I work with global businesses, especially the newer businesses that are really traversing extra challenges because of taboos or stigmas that they might be facing. So this could be anything from like end of life support, alternative medicine, healers. This is femtech, biotech, anything where there's extra challenges in building that trust with your audience so that you can do all the amazing things that you want to do in the world. So I help you maximize your profit, and so that you can continue to do all those amazing things, but still be able to put food on your own table, because if you can't put food on your own table, how are you going to be able to help others? So if you're interested in having a conversation, here is my link, calendly.com/humanitarian entrepreneur/discovery/call. I've never said that out loud before. That is really long. I'm so sorry.
maybe, get a Bitly or something, right? But it sounds amazing. So I definitely want to jump on the call with her and Tiffany, learn more about her, build the connection, build the relationships. And for me, Colleen should be the follow-up fortune finder. As we talked earlier, is we do the fall in love with follow-up experience. Basically, you need to do your follow-up. You might have pushed it to the back burner. You, like Denise was saying, like you're not sure maybe what to do or what to say and how that, and most importantly, you haven't created the time to do it, right? So we created the Fall in Love with Follow-Up experience to help you with that, right? So come, you get the first 2 weeks free. Come try it out. I will guarantee you will get stuff done when you come, because this is not a training class. Although we do train you, we want you to actually do the work. So it's not just another, I need to sit on this webinar and learn about it. This is where you're going to actually come and do the work and get the follow-up done. Start building those relationships and connections so that they will become your client. So just go to fallinlovewithfollowup.com and select the level 1 for free. So now we have MinkLife announcements. I think is Monica or somebody coming out to us. So if not, I will just keep going.
Yes, I am here, and this was a fun show, guys. Me and Peggy were over here laughing our butts off. So good times. If you were laughing your butt off and you enjoyed this conversation, guess what? We are here every Wednesday and Thursday to help you and have you join the conversation. That's Wednesdays at 9 a.m. and Thursdays at 2 p.m. Pacific time. But if you're on the go and you don't have time to hang out with us live, no worries. We are on all the places your podcast would go. So just go to Spotify and look up MinkLife Motivation Live and subscribe. If you want to be a co-host, not on the couch, but on the show, on the screen, a part of the conversation with your actual voice, you can do that just by going to www.minklifemotivation.com/live and sign up to be on the show. Tomorrow, we have more conversation with Denise. That's right. Denise will be helping you calibrate your life, and you're not going to want to miss it. That is all for us. Back to you, Colleen.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Denise and Tiffany. It's been a great show. I really appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your busy schedules to come and share your knowledge, share your genius. And I look forward to having more conversations with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.